All right. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, everybody, wherever you're tuning in from. Welcome back to the Polyhedra Show. I'm Tony, joined by Sam, our CMO, here today. We are doing a follow-up on the egg demo that we did on Tuesday. We had a whole bunch of questions we didn't get to, and we've had another 500 roll in. So huge amount of love coming in, and we want to dive into it a little bit deeper. So thanks for joining me today, Sam.
Great to be here, Tony.
Hell yeah, let's get into it, man. So before we dive into egg, we did have some questions in the comments about Panbubu and the Panbubu launch. So if you'd like to address that, that would be awesome.
Yeah, cool. No, it all kind of comes together. So on Wednesday next week, we'll be launching two new key functions on egg. One being the Coin Master egg assistant, which will enable people to kick up multi-chain coins, and some really interesting optimized features there. And then also egg drop, which is the ability to people to create liquidity and give away airdrops. So yeah, we're really excited to announce that through our egg platform. We will be initiating the Panbubu airdrop to Binance Alpha traders and Polyhedra stakers, and the estimated time for that will be the following week. So we'll be rolling out the tech functionality on Wednesday, and then the Panbubu airdrop through egg, which is really exciting. We have a lot of traders and a lot of community really excited about this, and we're excited for them to all come and claim their airdrop through our egg drop feature.
Awesome, exciting stuff, man. Exciting stuff. So let's jump in. We have let's have a look here. The first question from Tennis Lee or Boxbot, actually in Discord, which is, what is Egg's current post-launch marketing strategy, and how do we plan to attract new users and retain existing ones?
Good question. I think really at the moment it's just really focusing on getting a great product. So that's core function one. Even this week, the team's been on it. We launched version 0.1 on Tuesday. The platform's already operating at a higher level now. We're really trying to optimize agent flow and user functionality, and then over the next month really roll out new functions to getting to mainnet, which I'll go into a bit later in the show. Once the product's out, I think we have a lot of opportunity to drive users. I mean, if you look at say running the Panbubu airdrop through egg, and then that's around 300,000 or more people that will need to come and utilize the egg drop platform. And our idea is to go out to our strong ecosystem of businesses and KOLs and whatnot, and getting them to utilize the platform to drive more traffic. So I love the Instagram founders quote: "The best marketing is a great product," and we're very product centric with this. Like, we do genuinely think within a month we're going to have egg at a really, really high level, right? So yeah, that's kind of the plan, and there'll be lots of initiatives and kind of community incentives and whatnot along the way.
Totally. And the build in public part, I think, is such a strong pillar as well, because as a creator, I'm always playing a bit of catch up with all the different tools that come out, and each one kind of has a different interface and different ways to kind of route around. So it's really cool getting to, being on the team, obviously, like I would have had a bit of input anyway, but like everyone now gets to say. And I think the best ideas, they say come out with your MVP as fast as possible, and essentially fail hard and fast with your first version, because it's going to be very different to where you end up, right? And this way we can get like so much feedback and build a product that's the right fit for everyone. I think that in and of itself is a great like pre and post launch strategy, because it like amplifies itself, like, and ultimately we want to be the best, amalgamator. So, having everyone's input on how that looks and feels and works is like super, super valuable, along with everything.
No, I agree. I absolutely agree. No, we're lucky. I mean, that's the fun. That's the fun with crypto projects, is that you have an engaged community to help test and iterate. I mean, it's it's something that I think we take for granted at times, of having such a smart, engaged group of people to help actually, drive what product direction looks like. And that's kind of the power of that. That's the real power of crypto for me. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And from our Explore Expander bootcamp, we had some community members now, I believe, that joined the team because they were just so just amazing minds, super smart. But let's keep on egg here. So next question comes from shout out to Wisdom. Next question comes from where are we? Benny Williams, which is, how is Polyhedra leveraging community feedback and participation to shape the roadmap for egg? And are there structured ways for users to contribute ideas or vote on features?
Yeah, great question. I think the answer is yes. Currently, we're taking all the ideas that are coming through the beta feedback form, which is on the sorry, I just got a call. It'll be coming through the sorry, let me rethink what I was saying there. So through our beta feedback form on the homepage, we're having product calls daily and going through all your feedback. In terms of incentives and voting and all that other stuff, that will come out. Our big first ship is getting this Panbubu airdrop out, to incentivize community, and then there definitely will be there'll definitely be other mechanisms for early contributors to feel valued in the egg ecosystem.
Yeah, and we've got some channels that we've spun up on Discord, especially for egg and feedback, and we'll be doing voting there regularly, as well as, I'm sure, like on some of the bigger functionality, we'll be doing a wider spread, maybe on Exor. But again, like where it's all about testing and building, and our core community is who we really we really drives us at the start. So Discord is very important for that.
Yeah, one thing, Tony, while we're here, and I'd love anyone, what APIs would people like to see on egg? I mean, that would be something I'm very interested in. I mean, the idea is, Tony and I were discussing on Tuesday, like it's a pain in the ass, mind my French. I have enough subscriptions. They're coming out of every different way. I also can't pay for those subscriptions in crypto, which is frustrating. So we're aiming to have, 200 plus APIs. So, and ZKJ holders will get discounts and credits. And we'll have, we think that will really encourage new utility for ZKJ token. What are the top? I mean, Abner, our CEO, and I and the product team had a long sync yesterday. I know, Tony, you're a big fan of VO3 and some other tools. Been doing some really great content internally with those tools. But yeah, I'd love people to put feedback in. So that would be great.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously the AMAs are great for that. We run in Discord. mentionably, we're going to be doing this a lot. We did chat about next time we're going to be running it. We want to invite some of our community members on stage for the YouTube and X channels, and we can answer some questions live and maybe have even like community roundtables and stuff. And you'll be rewarded for that, obviously. And we really want to encourage our community to join the team.
We want to see more faces. It's going to be like this is like Tony and Sam's talkback radio show from now on. Calling people up,
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's right. Totally, man. I'm here for it. Very, very cool. Yeah, those open feedback loops. That's what we're all about. So moving on. Let's check this one.
Alan Jones and David Koch.
Gosh, man, that's so. Are they still going? I've been able to live from Australia for a while. Koshy, far out. You're definitely Howard. All right, let's go for this one's from another Ben T199. What can the community expect in terms of Egg's roadmap over the next 6 to 12 months, including potential partnerships or technological advancements? I mean, I guess we did just touch on that a little bit. We're open to a lot of API, like whatever APIs.
Yeah, no. So I think, obviously, this next 2 months, so getting the cryptographic monetization tools up, that's next week. And over the next few weeks, we'll also be having two smaller updates per week as well. That will be going out through our X and Discord. So we'll be having 2 smaller updates. That's really geared around agent optimization and user experience, and also community involvement. The token creation and monetization tools, V1, they'll be called 020 will be going live on Wednesday, CoinMaster and Egg Drop. And then within a month, we're going to have the first version of the App Store. So that's going to be the ability to plug in the world's top APIs, into Egg. We will also then be working with a plethora of emerging APIs that you can also find on, that developers have already had access to on Polyhedra's marketplace, and we'll be doing a lot of co-marketing and interaction with those guys. And then once we're solid there, that's when we'll go to mainnet. So, really the next month, next 6 weeks is getting this product, shit hot, basically. We want Egg to feel like world class, and really be the first kind of AI aggregator that has that blend of world-class AI tooling, but also the monetization tools. I think it's well and good to be spending money on creating content, but if there's no clear path to monetization, and that's why we've put a lot of time in optimizing actually why, and you'll see that on Wednesday, and Tony and I will take you guys through CoinMaster and Egg Drop, why we think, why we put a lot of time and effort and energy into actually building out these functionalities that sync in more seamlessly with DeFi liquidity and distribution mechanisms there. So, phase 1's all about getting a really great product that we can take to mainnet, and then post mainnet, it'll be about scaling and including key Polyhedra infrastructure, like our verifiable AI stack, ZK Bridge is interoperability, and just more engagement with outside ecosystem partners, enterprise, to try to we're really looking at Egg as the consumer level entry product to kind of Polyhedra's ecosystem. So, to date, we've had a lot of really great developer tools, but Egg is that time where that time and place where anyone can come and access and interact with our community and hopefully benefit from it.
Totally. Yeah. Really cool, man. Now, I've seen a few of these like aggregators come out. That's like, hey, if you're jumping across LLMs, here's a way to amalgamate them. But nothing with such like a creator focus for one that like also crosses into like business ops, and the ability to spin up your own agents. But it's also, it's being not like if everything's kind of like, and I've looked at a few of them. They're very much like black boxes. Again, it's like, and that's why I'm harking on about it. But as soon as, the management team was like, we're going to build this in public, I was just like, this is awesome. Because there's so many, I hear feedback from so many people and, oh, you should use this or that. And it's just like, well, I'm like, man, if everyone could just get together and have their say, like what an amazing product we could build. So I think that's really, really cool. And, also got to mention, I think that a lot of, like, it's not really feasible for a lot of businesses to do that. I've seen a lot of people like giving, being real negative about building in public, but like, I get that. Like if you don't have a moat that's, like because of our stack, it's a substantial moat. Like, you can't really compete with at the ZK stack that we have. And, that people have been asking questions, what if I have agents that, will create other agents and then who's responsible? It's like, well, that's the reason why we're so focused on zero knowledge, is to solve these issues. So having that native in this platform, really solves an issue that may not be massive yet, but like it will be, you know what I mean? And I think we actually had some questions about this, but I digress a little bit. Let me keep moving through here.
No, that's it, man. I mean, building, if you actually, it can go two ways. If, we pushed out that early version of Egg that none of us was satisfied with, and then, didn't improve that, it's very risky. That kills our credibility. We've already, 48 hours later, 72 hours later, we've already made significant improvements. And, next week there'll be more. We're going to keep shipping. I'm really bullish on this app store aggregator, in terms of functionality, but also in terms of creating utility for ZKJ, and all the co-marketing opportunities that we can do with all our partners. I mean, we're one of the only crypto companies with really deep connection points to AI application layer startups through my network and the co-founders network and some of our other teams network, in the Bay Area especially. So yeah, and there's a lot of wood to chop here, man. And you have to remember it, in that AI application layer, it's a bit of a race to the bottom too. Like all of these companies have raised lots of money and there's lots of pressure on them to create customers. And we think with Egg, Egg's a fun brand. It's like, it's not a boring corporate brand like Claude or even ChatGPT to a degree. It's like, with all the memes and kind of culture and consumer kind of friendly, viewpoint, and driving community. Yeah, we genuinely think people, APIs will want to target our potent community and there's going to be lots of opportunity for our early adopters to benefit from the monetization that Egg creates.
Yeah, absolutely. Very, very cool, man. My head's just was just spinning then. I mean, one of the questions I saw, I wasn't going to, but it was a great question. It was like, what's like something surprising or cool that you found about Egg already? And for me, it's like, I mean, in ChatGPT, for example, I've got so many threads now, but, I'll title them because they're designated towards a certain, like a thread or task that I need to do. And, you're always sorting through them and, you're trying to like search for keywords to track it down. And I love that in Egg, like you've just got the avatars and you can actually like because I'm a visual guy. And so I'm like, oh, there it is, so you can scroll through and be like, okay, this is the guy that needs to do this. This is my team member for this. I think it's super cool. And, obviously in the future as we build out, mapping it out, like similar to like what N8Ns and the makes are doing and stuff, having those functionalities will definitely be in the pipeline too, and just be a lot more user friendly. Do you know what I mean? Like, because at the moment it's like you need to be like, I've messed around with those tools, and it's like I've got friends who are specializing in this, and it is almost like a specialization. So, being more consumer friendly and allowing, just everyday people to get involved is such a cool thing. But that does lead off into segue into the next question, which was, will I be able to fully hand off my publishing pipeline to an agent from ideation to scheduling, or is human review still required at certain steps? So I think this kind of comes into the ZK proof arena, where it can, ideate and schedule. But I mean, I think with any scheduling software, if you've ever used something like agents, I forget what it was called, the one that I was using now, and you're like, hey, post some stuff for me on Twitter, like you want to be checking it because it can throw out some absolute rubbish, and it's very inauthentic. So you want to make sure that it's actually speaking to your voice in that scenario, and it's actually authentically what you want to say. I guess.
I mean, that's the issue, right? I think, like I've definitely got like AI content, AI written
fatigue.
content, particular fatigue, right? Like I'm just like, on LinkedIn and Twitter and even like, when I see our ecosystem chats on Telegram, it just really puts me off when I can just tell that, and that's why I think imagination and creativity and having your own voice in the age of AI is still so important. It's everyone thinks that they're like a copywriter now, or they're like or that they're talented due to AI. And but I think the people that are going to really succeed on platforms like Egg are the ones that still have like imagination and the willingness to develop your own identity. I think just purely relying on AI, like AI is an equalizer. I think it's great. Like AI is an equalizer in terms of it definitely speeds up the process, whether that's, shipping an application or, creating content, but you still need a vision and imagination. And that's kind of my concept and my thought process with AI. I think anyone with creativity, imagination, and a desire to be different and bold, will win this next era, and I think the monetization opportunities can happen so much faster, but
totally
just by, I was looking at like comments on a LinkedIn post I did this week, and, that classic AI generated garbage of like, this is not visionary, it's necessary. And like, M Ash, like, it's like, like, honestly, like we just, be better people, still use your creativity, use your imagination, use AI to iterate, and play
make
around
mistakes,
with it. Keep going with it, keep trying, not just don't just because of AI. I hope people don't become late, I hope it still makes people not become lazy. Like,
totally,
like on Egg, I'm going to start, I definitely, once the capabilities are there a bit more, I'll definitely be, going through and giving rewards and prizes to the most creative and cool agents that I see. So we'll announce that, we'll announce that kind of campaign in the next couple of weeks.
Totally. I was also thinking like it'd be cool to be able to spin up agent stacks, and because I threw out a challenge on Discord to our community. I from Tuesday. I was like, this game that I was thinking about, I'm like, that's actually a sick game. I want to make it. So I'm like, who wants to help me vibe code this? We'll do as much as possible in Egg, and then as Egg progresses, we'll just keep building, so we can build in public alongside us building Egg in public. It's like, what else, like what can our community be building in public, and we can do together, and use all of our combined intellectual resources to. I think it'd be really, really cool. So if anyone wants to join me on that journey, yeah, bring it on. But let's have a look. I mean, sorry, just one last point on the publishing pipeline to an agent is proof of proof of or authorship, and your intent, like provenance, is something that we're really big on as well. So I think that's another benefit that will be baked in. That's super exciting, is that you can prove that it was conceptualized by you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good shout. We'll have a we'll have TC on here either next week or the week after to discuss our new proof of personhood product built off our ZKML systems. And again, that stuff will all plug into having your digital sovereignty is so important, and that product will help. I think we were discussing before the call, there was a question around how to prove identity and how to prove that it's my IP and stuff. Yeah, there'll be all these types of tools to hopefully encourage ownership and identity through Egg 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that was a question someone had asked about, if someone copies like my agent idea. And that also ties into this next question, which is, how does Egg support creator monetization? Can agents help me build a paid community or sell content? So also, like, in line with not necessarily copying your idea, but you will be able to monetize it if you've got a great agent. If you're a great creator, and you create these great agents, then you will be able to monetize that. Again, we're building in public, so whether that's through you can subscribe to an agent or buy an agent, and you can because that's, as we're kind of chatting about, Sam, like it's very, like, a lot of people are discussing that in the future it's going to be, instead of coming with, say, your processes and your spreadsheets as you did in the past, you'll now come with your suite of agents in your briefcase.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's that's pretty cool, and just being able to build out your team members, and as they grow and they learn, sometimes it's going to make more sense just to hire someone else's team member to do something for you. Yeah. Especially if they've been real dialed in, then, and they maybe they're using a number of models or plugins in a unique way. Like there's going to be so many variables, but to answer that question, it's like, you're going.
Yeah, no, I want to. My idea is, one of the ideas for Egg, in terms of roadmap from my perspective, is once we have those really clear, accounts, those outstanding accounts that are creating incredible content. I think we can create almost like an Upwork or Fiverr style, creator hub where brands and people can come and utilize the different creators on Egg to develop amazing AI generated content for them, at a rapid rate. So that once we have volume of amazing creators and content generation tools on Egg, there's going to be all these types of ways that we can drive monetization to users. But that's all just going to be possible. Once the product's ready, obviously that will come with volume of creative people getting involved. So, but yeah, that even these conversations, Tony, it just gets me thinking. And also, one other thing I forgot to mention in the roadmap is that we're building apps as well. So there'll be an iOS and Android version for mainnet. So,
awesome. Awesome.
You know?
Yeah, that was actually one of the questions. Was about what on the roadmap with mobile availability. So that's very, very cool. Awesome, man. Yeah, it's super exciting stuff. And let me see, I think we went through that one. That was like a 2-part question. So this is one from I haven't done the name, but what happens if an AI agent creates content that violates IP or causes problems? Who's liable, me or Egg? I think that's an interesting one. That's like it's a gray area at the moment in the entire industry, right? But I read this question. I thought about it. I was like, I imagine you're at some point everyone's gonna have to be able to check IP. So you'll be able to check, like you could be able to spin up an agent that is an IP checking agent. Maybe as well as securely adding the provenance via ZK. But I mean, anyone who's ever registered a business, like that you have to go run through these IP checks. You usually need a lawyer, like to get this done, and that process itself, like someone could just turn that into an agent, really. Like, so if someone wants to do that, someone build an IP checking agent.
Yeah, I mean that's a cool. I mean, ZKML can check the ingredients to all this stuff. I mean,
yeah,
that will be, but I think in terms of early stages, just it's not really about the ideas anyway. Generally, it's about who can execute them. I mean, look at there was multiple rideshare apps before Uber. There was multiple digital currencies before Bitcoin, right? But ideas are great, but just don't worry. Just whoever asked the question, just build a bunch of agents. DM me. I want to see what you're doing. So
yeah, totally. I mean, if your agent spins up an image that has like a Nike symbol in it or something, then you might be like, okay.
I saw,
like, but that's just
Amber did that yesterday. So maybe she's in trouble.
Oh, really? Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, I actually saw a video of my friend doing the same thing for his business, and he's kind of like, just having a laugh with it. But like he's like, oh, what if they come for me? But that kind of stuff. It's like, that's been a Web 2 problem forever. Is being careful and managing that stuff. I mean, even like using song music in ads and stuff, like and sometimes you'll do it by mistake, and then someone will say, hey, that's our IP, and then you just, okay, I'll take it down, I'm sorry. That's in my experience, it's as far as it goes, because there's just so much stuff out there that it's hard not to tread on some people's toes sometimes without even realizing it.
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, you hear about it in the music industry, like someone will use like half a loop, like 2 bars of I think that was like it was like Rolling Stones or something, and that someone had used like 2 bars of like one of their tracks, and then the Stones came and like, they got huge royalties from them. So it's interesting, but unless you're the Rolling Stones, I don't think or you've gone up against it, you're not going to have too many issues. But very cool.
I always get what you want.
Yeah. Nice, bro. Love it. Anyway, we spoke about the guardrails there, which is good. And again, that's our moat, which so to answer those questions, it's like I think that's really the moat and the great opportunity of Polyhedra doing this. Next question: will there be any unique campaigns or educational tracks targeted at non-technical audiences to explore Egg's capabilities? I think I think for this one, I think the whole building in public is in and of itself, it's an educational track. We're going to be doing a lot of these shows as we build it out, and like we're going to be showing every step of the way and every change that we make, and how we're incorporating feedback loops, and so I think by doing that, there's going to be so many resources just organically that people will be able to interact with. And then the fact that it's going to be we're going to be so user feedback heavy, then I'm sure the final UI UX is going to be super navigable and easy. So, but I mean, also tutorials, etc. So to answer that question, I think it's just like, yes, there's going to be a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah, man. No, definitely. I think, yeah, we've got the content team cooking, and there'll be a lot more tutorials and demos and all that other stuff coming in the coming weeks. So yeah, no, this is week 1, guys. We're just getting started, but it's exciting.
Awesome, man. Awesome. We might have time for one more question.
Yeah,
we did have a lot, but yeah, again, we had a lot, but I hope a lot of the other questions were quite similar. So I tried to diversify as much as possible, but we're going to be back, so no worries there. But this one is
we'll do this again on Wednesday, Tony, once the new features are out. So
perfect. Sounds great, man. So this one I like. It's if you can send one message to the future users of Egg in 2030, what's your future message?
Oh wow, I mean, that's fun. I mean, yeah, I'd love it if we, I think there's big aspiration with Egg, that it can become this crossover, crypto AI, platform, that really is the engine for the user looking to monetize their digital presence. I mean, what I know about us, is that we're resilient and that we want to build, and and let's focus there. Like I'm super excited about just, when Abner and I connected last night, we looked what the product team had got through in 48 hours. We laid out what's happening before Wednesday. We laid out what's happening in the first month, the next 2 months. Like, for me, that's all this is about. It's like, I'm so excited that we're shipping and we're building, and man, if we with the community support, if we can really push this out and grow this, like, this could be a behemoth by 2030. But my goal is that we're still all at Polyhedra and still building this. In my mind, we're really just getting started.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love it. I'd say the same thing. For future years, I'd be like, thank our community, because I think it's going to be so important. Because I guess you can ship fast and you can ship with the community. Doing both kind of means embracing the mess, man, and the magic of it, which is building, which is an exciting thing to do with your community. So I'd say to them, thanks to our community, and thank you guys all for the awesome, fantastic questions. As Sam said, we're going to be back on Wednesday. We'll be showing some new features, and let's keep cooking. Let's keep building. Let's keep cooking.
Let's go.
Awesome, man. Awesome. All right. Thanks for taking the time, Sam.
Thank you so much, Tony, for joining me today, man. It's great to have you on.
No worries whatsoever. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Bye.